Hi, everybody. Yesterday, we started reading Amazing Buildings, which is an information text, right? Or we call it nonfiction. Nonfiction and information books mean the same thing. They're both books that teach us something. And these books don't have characters. There's no dialogue in it. There's nobody talking to each other. There's no beginning, middle, and end. There's no problem or solution. These books are teaching us information. And this book is teaching us all about buildings. So what were some of the facts that we learned about buildings yesterday? Let me go back in the book. Well, we learned that pyramids were built thousands of years ago with bricks. We learned about the Roman Colosseum, where they used to have gladiators who would have battles. And this was the first stadium or place to use concrete. We learned about this castle in Germany, and that the castle at Walt Disney World was modeled off of this castle in Germany. We've learned a lot about different buildings. We learned how the Eiffel Tower was one of the first tall buildings made out of metal, right? Let's see what we'll learn today. The tallest buildings of all are called skyscrapers because they seem to touch the sky. The two Petronas Towers in Malaysia are the tallest skyscrapers in the world, at 1,483 feet. Each tower has 88 floors. Visitors can walk from one building to the next on the sky bridge. It takes a whole month to clean all the windows in one tower. Wow, could you imagine having to wash all the windows in that building? Now, this book is old. This tower is no longer the tallest tower in the world. If you're interested in finding out the tallest tower in the world, you can go look that up on the internet. Some buildings have big round roofs called domes. The dome on Florence Cathedral in Italy was difficult to build. Builders had to make another dome inside the cathedral to support the huge outer dome. Workers walked through passages between the inner and outer domes. The domes on St. Basil's Cathedral in Russia are called onion domes. They do kind of look like onions. I bet that's why they're called onion domes. So now on this page, we learned about domes, like roofs of buildings. Have you ever seen a building in the shape of a ball? This round building in the picture is called Spaceship Earth. It is at the Epcot Center theme park in Florida. Over 11,000 triangles cover the surface to make it look like a perfectly round and white, like a huge golf ball. Wow, 11,000 triangles. That's an interesting fact. More curves. This hotel in Dubai was designed to look like a wave. It has 600 rooms for guests, all with ocean views. That does look like a wave. So this page is kind of about buildings that are unusual looking. Think of the amazing shapes of other modern buildings. What do these buildings look like to you? The Sydney Opera House in Australia looks like the billowing sails of a sailboat. The Guggenheim Museum in Spain may remind you of a large ship. A gleaming roof. The roof of the Sydney Opera House is covered by over 1 million ceramic tiles. And that's that, like zoom in there. It looked like somebody zoomed in on this with a camera to show us those little triangles on top of the building. Look at this huge stadium. Stadium Australia was built for the games of the 2000 Olympics. It was designed to be friendly to the environment. This means it uses less electricity for lights and air conditioning. The stadium has big tanks to collect rainwater that falls on top of the roof. The rainwater is recycled to water the field or even flush the toilets. And here's a caption up here in this box. Olympics. New stadiums are often built for special events such as the Olympics. Where can you grow bananas indoors? In a giant greenhouse. At the Eden Project in England, the latest technology is used to create habitats from around the world. Ooh, habitats! We're talking about that in Inquiry. Even when it's cold and dry outside, the weather is hot and damp inside the humid tropics biome. Jungle plants grow in here as if they are in the middle of the rainforest. One of the most amazing modern buildings is way out in space. Modern means new, right? So something in outer space is modern because it hasn't been around for very long. The pyramids are the opposite of modern. This is the opposite of modern because it's thousands of years old. We would say the spaceship is modern because it's relatively new. All of the parts for the International Space Station come from Earth on board the space shuttle. Who knows what other amazing buildings may be built in the future? More building facts. Sometimes at the end of information books, they have fun facts. A moat surrounds many castles, such as Raglan Castle in Great Britain. A moat is a ditch filled with water to keep enemies out. The Tower of Pisa in Italy sank into the soft soil on one side, causing it to lean. To prevent collapse, scientists have given it special supports. The Ice Hotel in Canada is rebuilt every winter using fresh ice and snow. Each year it looks different. The Great Wall of China was built to keep out invaders. It is so long that it can be seen from outer space. The World Trade Center was a group of 7 office buildings that opened in New York City in 1973. 2 of these buildings were 110-story skyscrapers known as the Twin Towers, the tallest sites on the New York City skyline. On September 11, 2001, the Twin Towers and other buildings were destroyed in a terrorist attack. Then at the end of the book, there's an index. This has the different page numbers on it. So if you were thinking, I am really interested in that castle that looks like the one at Disney World, like the Neuschwanstein Castle, it tells you what page to go back and find them on pages 12 and 13. Information books often have an index, this is called, in the back of the book. So we learned so many facts about amazing buildings. When we read information books, at the end of it, we feel like we learned something new. You could be reading information books on Seesaw. I assigned everybody information books, and you can also read information books on Mayan. See you tomorrow.